Yeah, those don't belong down there. Better start making some phone calls. Well, headed to Ursa with a load of beans. There's 2 hoppers on the Peterbilt, but when we start, we're going to start with 2 empty trucks. We still got some on the hills down at the bottom, but we should need the grain cart for those. I'll be able to fill those up without the cart. And we'll cut our way back out and dump on the trucks, and we should be done with the cart. And we got the 2 hills up at top, on top of the hill, and we got the flat up there. So I'll be able to get that done today. Grandpa, when I left, he was kind of greasing a little bit, and he was going to wash some windows, because the bean dust, as thick as it is this year, them windows are coated with dirt. They need to be actually cleaned. We just been dusting them off and rolling on, but it's time. They just need to be sprayed with window cleaner and wiped off. So I'm headed into town with this load, then we'll start fresh when I get back. We got moved and started cutting. We about filled the Peterbilt. Grandpa looks like he's gonna fill it. So I dumped 1 hopper in it, and he did. And there was already a hopper and a half on it, just about. So he'll finish that truck off and send it down the road. Freightliner, it's empty, so we'll start dumping in it. I doubt we'll be able to get that one filled and hauled off before the elevator closes, because they close at 7. So we'll probably fill that one, Chuck can take it off in the morning while we get started and fill up the Peterbilt again. But we're just cutting here on these hills, and tomorrow when we get started and getting good running, we'll hammer down on the flat and get it done. Got after this place, we've got Joe Dell's, and we got the King Farm. After that, beans are done. So beans are pretty dang close. A little over 100 acres, probably 150 acres bean left, which is the rate we've been going. We should be done by Friday on beans. Then we can switch to corn, kind of get a slow start to corn on Saturday. We got a wedding to go to Saturday afternoon, a wedding reception that night, but probably shell a little corn on Sunday, kind of just to get a little more out. And Monday I'll have my schooling. I may just do all my schooling Sunday night if I can, get it out of the way, or get a majority of it out of the way. That way I'll get done in the morning early. By that time, Grandpa ought to have the combine service, and I'll be up, and we can hammer down on corn. They'll start shelling, and I'll haul off. We're getting things done this year once we got everything together and got a plan together. We just hammered down on beans till we're done, and we can worry about corn. We ain't gotta worry about switching combine over, shell corn a couple days, then go back, switch it again, start cutting beans, because when you're switching combines in the middle is doing something, it slows you down. This way, we ain't gotta worry about switching the combines again. Beans are done. We can hammer down on corn. It's working out for us. We may get done in record time, as long as nothing drastic happens. And there goes a rabbit. They are thick this year. May have to do a little rabbit hunting. Back again. Gotta finish filling that truck. And Chuck will get here. He said he'd be here about noon. Means we had to service and everything, and we've been having frost at night. Means it's been getting colder, so we can't get going until about 11:30. So it's 11:15 now. I'm just now getting to where we can start. So I'm gonna tear in right there, cut all the way down, cut over, and cut back. We'll cut up here on the flat. It means we ain't got a lot of foxtail in it. We can get it cut, because with it still a little wet out, don't want to run that foxtail through. We do not want to plug one of these combines with it before. My grandpa and Chuck had to dig one out one day after cutting up here, and that is, you lose most of your day doing that, from what they told me. I ain't ever had to dig foxtail out of these, but I've had to dig a lot of things out of them, and foxtail ain't been one of them yet, luckily. So we're gonna hammer down, get this farm done, and I think the way we're planning, we're gonna move to the King farm next, get it cut, then we'll finish up on Joe Dale. That's at least our plan. So we'll get to Joe Dale's tomorrow. We'll get this done, we ought to be able to get up to King farm and get it finished, or at least almost finished, because it's only 30 something acres. 2 combines will wipe that out pretty dang quick. So we're gonna get to cutting. Well, I got that back piece picked. I'm gonna get this hillside here, finish it up. Grandpa's going up to the front of the farm right next to the shed over there, and he's gonna start chewing on them. They got foxtail in them. He said he'd go over there and cut on them and let me finish this. So what I'm gonna do, once those 2 pieces are done, we're on to the next farm. This place will be wiped out. Trucking right along. Another farm down, 2 more to go. We're getting them knocked out now. We're going to go to King Farm next. Grab my gloves out of this truck here. Go grab my head wagon, Duramax. I'm going to drop my head on, and I guess move my rig up there. Cut a spot open, that way we can get his rig in. We'll get that one cut. Let's do it. Now I'm getting the end rows off here. This field, the outside rows, and a few passes right in there. You can kind of see the color difference in it. or at least I can. Probably can't through the camera, but there's becks around the outside 4150 E3, because I had those left over from Joe Dell's when I planted it. Come up here, started with becks, then we switched over to Ag Venture. I believe that they are 3.9 Ag Ventures. Actually, I know for a fact they're 3.9 Ag Ventures. We're going to see what the yield difference is between the two. I'm watching my yield monitor and I'm up in the 50s quite often. High 40s, low 50s. Like right now, around 53. A lot of people are saying, well, that used to be a good yield. Well, a lot of the dirt we farm, it's still a good yield. Sure as hell beats the 30 bushel we were getting year before last. Even last year, we somehow managed to have some good beans. We had some beans that were in the low 40s, and for a drought year, hell, we'll take it. But I do not like how these beans fell over. So I had that with my 4150s. They wanted to fall over. Even Ag Ventures fell over bad too. And you kind of got to go slow and let the reel pick them up and move them in. But even as they fell down like right now, they're still making a good yield. The plant just fell over, didn't drop the beans on the ground, which is what I was worried about as dry as it got there for a few weeks. But they're still doing good, so we'll take it. Grandpa and Chuck just got moved in up there, getting the 23 hooked up. We're going to hammer down and get this done before dark, hopefully. If not, we're going to cut as late as we can cut. Last night we had to stop. It was just getting dark and we ended up having to stop because it started getting cold pretty quick. Moisture started to come up and we couldn't cut. You had to go so dang slow, there wasn't no point to it, so we stopped. Tonight it's not supposed to get as cold, I don't think, so may be able to cut a little later tonight. I hope we can. We get this farm done tonight, we can move into Joe Dell's and get it wiped out tomorrow. Or at least attempt to get it wiped out tomorrow. We have to come back Saturday morning, finish it up. Oh well, but we're shooting to get it done tomorrow. If we can get an earlier start, that'd be good. Just have to see how things work out, but we're gonna get this field cut at least. Cutting on the becks right now. The pass right next to me is Ag Venture, because this was my last pass when I had becks in the planter. And according to my yield monitor, we're ranging anywhere from mid 50s to low 60s. The highest I've seen was 63 so far. It's kind of staying right in that 57, 58, 59 range. Cut and this trailer will be full. Chuck ought to be getting back here pretty quick with the Freightliner. We were thinking we could fit all these beans on 2 trucks. We may not make it. We may have a little bit left on 1 truck. Well, we're getting close to being done with this field. We're on the Ag Venture right now, and it's doing pretty close to the becks, but it ain't quite beating it. It's struggling to hit over 50, but like a spot like this, it hits 50 for a very short period. It stays in the 40s mainly for yield. So take that information, do with it as you will. Highest I've seen it go on the Ag Venture. Gonna be cutting it close. I'm about betting we don't fit it all on this trailer unless we load it down good and heavy, which I absolutely don't recommend.